So there's quite a few changes that they've added with this update patch, and there's 3 in my opinion that are really cool. The first one, and this is probably one of the best things that Arrowhead has added in a while, dude. It is the dive and stim, okay? So now when you're running, you know how you get hit and it's always kind of canceling your stim, and it's been so annoying. Now, when you're getting hit, you can just literally dive and stim in the air. This feels incredibly good, and not only is it going to be awesome for your survivability, but it's just a quality of life thing added to the game that just is going to make the gameplay loop feel so much better overall, no matter which enemy you're going against, right? Boom, stim. That's awesome. You can also do this from any kind of high ground as well. I probably should have brought a jump pack to show you guys a little bit high ground dives, but maybe we can do something here. Maybe get up here. This should be enough. This Helldiver is extremely unathletic. Right here, boom, and you can stim right at the end. You will still ragdoll. That's such a funny animation. But the point is, you can stim while you're diving now, and this is going to be a small skill gap, so to speak, for players. So for example, like, let these guys hit me here. Boom, I'm getting hit, you know, going crazy. Boom, I just dive and stim. This also really speeds up your movement while you're getting hit, because a lot of times, especially against bugs, you're going to get slowed. And it, in general, like stimming without a dive always slowed you down. But now the fact that you can do that means that you can keep your momentum, keep your movement going, and stay alive at the same time. You're getting hit, you're still moving forward here, straight into your sprint, you're stimmed up, you're good to go. This is going to make such a good change for the game, especially on the higher end of difficulty when you're playing against the predator strains and whatnot. This is just going to feel awesome, and something that we're going to have to get used to, but once you do, it's just amazing. Now, another really cool change they've done to the Truth Enforcer's armor, which is going to be with the unflinching perk, is what you see on your screen right now. So first of all, this one obviously helps prevent Helldivers from unflinching when hit, but now it provides a higher armor rating and brings this medium armor to 125 armor rating. And you guys know I absolutely love to run medium armor with the extra petting, which is at 150. Now, this is a little bit lower, obviously, but it's still more survivability compared to normal medium armor, which is huge. And on top of that, they've also added markers placed on the map will generate radar scans every 2 seconds to this armor. Now, the reason this is kind of important is because the third change that we're going to talk about here, which is the changes that they made to stealth gameplay in a way. Enemies will no longer automatically detect you when you're near terminate spawners or spawners that generate flying enemies. Instead, these spawners will now only activate if any enemy has already identified you as a target. Previously, simply being within 200 meters, that's crazy, of certain spawner types such as flying enemy spawners, stalker layers, or inside terminate locations would trigger immediate enemy spawns and reveal your location. This update shifts detection to a more logical line of sight or alert-based system, reducing arbitrary auto-detection mechanics and improving stealth gameplay. As a result of these changes, automaton fabricators now spawn enemies more consistently, ensuring smoother pacing and engagement balance. So as you guys can see, this is a change that will make the stealth gameplay a little bit more interesting. We are going to be looking into this. We're going to be testing out some stealth builds as well. But this is an awesome change. So far, on paper at least, once again, we need to jump in. We need to test all of these things and kind of figure out if it's actually good or not, and so on, right? Those are the top 3 changes that I thought were really, really cool. Obviously, we have the Peacemaker sidearm buff, increased starting magazine from 4 to 5, increased max spare magazines from 4 to 8. This is very good. An increased damage from 75 to 85, increased durable damage from 15 to 25. And then we also have some armor passives, such as the integrated explosives, now also increase initial inventory and holding capacity of grenades by +2. That's awesome. And unflinching, we already went over that one. This unflinching one is actually really, really nice change. We also have a change to the R2 amendment, increased ergonomics from 35 to 50. Thank you for the follow on Twitch. I truly appreciate that. yeah, the amendment got its ergonomics increased from 35 to 50. Definitely gonna make the weapon feel better. So if you do enjoy the amendment, I think that obviously you're gonna enjoy it even more now. We got also some crazy changes for the Illuminate, especially when it comes to the enemies. So for example, the Harvester, their health has been rebalanced to make them easier to destroy using anti-tank weapons, particularly when aiming at their head. Harvesters were already pretty easy to kill, so this is probably good. I mean, you're gonna kill them faster, but that's about it. Overseers reduce the frequency of elevated overseers spawning during prevent invasion foothold missions. I think that the difficulty on max difficulty when I was playing, at least for the overseers, I don't think, I mean, there was a lot of them, but I do feel like max difficulty a lot of the times should feel that way, where you're like, holy shit, what's happening? So this is going to be something that we're going to have to play and check out. Then we have the Overseers can now occasionally spawn from landed dropships at outposts, adding variety to their battlefield presence. So they're going to have essentially different sources of popping up. And then the Leviathan, and this is kind of nuts. Projectile damage was reduced from 1,500 to 350. The intent is to ensure Helldivers are still eliminated on direct impact. Yeah, we have to make sure that we die on one-shots while preventing instant destruction of exosuits and FRVs. Explosion damage and radius from turret shots have been increased to maintain lethality through area denial. Now, this is very important because essentially what they've done is they've lowered the damage from 1,500 to 350. 1,500 is crazy, by the way. I didn't even know. Like, that's insane. But as a Helldiver, you're still going to get one shot. You're still going to die one shot. The intent is to ensure Helldivers are still eliminated on direct impact while preventing instant destruction of exosuits and FRVs. So essentially, what they're trying to do is if you are in an exosuit, you're not going to get one shot. But to be honest, when are we in exosuits that often? We're not using them that often anyway, especially against Illuminates, right? So yes, it's cool that the exosuits are not going to get one shot and the FRVs, but even FRVs were like really fast moving around. It wasn't like that often that you would get one shot in FRVs. I mean, you would, but not like the same amount as you do as when you're like on foot, right? But as a Helldiver, you're still going to get one shot. You're still going to die one shot. The intent is to ensure Helldivers are still eliminated on direct impact while preventing instant destruction of exosuits and FRVs. So essentially, what they're trying to do is if you are in an exosuit, you're not going to get one shot. But to be honest, when are we in exosuits that often? We're not using them that often anyway, especially against Illuminates, right? So yes, it's cool that the exosuits are not going to get one shot and the FRVs. As a Helldiver, if you're on foot, this doesn't really change much. If anything, this might feel crazier because the explosion damage and radius from turret shots have been increased to maintain lethality through area denial. So what's going to happen essentially is like they're going to happen in a bigger radius, which can cook you up even easier now when it comes to, you know, if you're on foot. At least that's how I understand it. And make sure to let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. But those are like the biggest changes that came with this, with these patch notes. But yeah, I think that, you know, the stim diving, the armor changes, and the stealth changes are my favorite changes personally. But all of the rest, yeah, that was all the things that you need to know essentially. Once again, make sure to let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comment section below.